In the last section, we generated a new project that we called songs. So I'm now going to change into that project directory like so. Now, I'm not going to start up my project here just yet because I want to show you one or two quick things that we're going to have to do before we actually start the project up. All right, so back over here, a couple quick diagrams. First, I want to show you how we're going to break out this application into separate components. So we're going to make one component for the right-hand side. We're going to call it a song list. It's going to take a list of songs, as you might guess. Those will be an array of objects where each object has maybe the title of the song and maybe the length as well. We will then render out a list of all those different songs. And then for the right-hand side, we'll have a very simple song detail. If it is given a song object, it will display the title and the length of the given song. And that's pretty much it. So without a doubt, the React side of this application, simple, straightforward. All right. Now, I want to tell you something a little bit more interesting that's going to help you understand how we put React and Redux together. So at this point, we've made use of the React library by itself quite a bit. We also have seen an example of Redux inside of CodePen. And you even saw me, and you probably went through the same process as well, add Redux to that CodePen instance as a dependency. Now, we're going to flip back over to our terminal here in just a second, and we're going to install Redux. But at the same time, we're going to install a second library called React Redux. That's literally its name. It's React-Redux. This is a third library that we're going to use to make sure that React and Redux can talk to each other. Remember, Redux was not necessarily designed to work only with React. So the React Redux library has a bunch of helper functions inside of it to get Redux to work nicely with, you guessed it, React. We're going to really be learning a lot about React Redux at this point and moving forward because we already know how React works pretty well, and you've got a reasonable idea of exactly what Redux is doing. So in this app, what we're really learning at the end of the day is how React Redux works, as opposed to just React or Redux. Okay, so we're going to flip back over to our terminal. I'm going to make sure I'm inside that songs project directory, and I'll do an npm install -- save for Redux and React-Redux like so. All right, now this is just going to take a second or two to install, so I'm just going to let it do its thing. And then when it's done, I'm going to start up npm start inside of this project directory. Okay, there we go. And so I'll run npm start. And then we'll see our browser open up. And here we go, localhost 3000, like so. Next up, I'm going to start up my code editor inside of our project directory. And as you are very well used to doing, we're going to find that src folder, and we're going to delete everything inside there. And then inside the src folder, we'll go back in and we're going to create our root index.js file. I'm going to put together a little bit of boilerplate inside of here. So I'll say import React from React. I'll do import React DOM from React-DOM. And then we don't have a app component or a app file yet, but we're going to make it in just a second. So I'm going to imagine that it already exists, and I'll say import app from components/app, like so. And then at the bottom, we'll do the classic React DOM.render with our app and document.query selector with root, like so. All right, so remember at this point, we don't have our app component put together. So if you flip back over to the browser, you're probably going to see an error message. So let's now very quickly create our app component. So I'm going to find my src directory, make a new folder inside there called components. And inside of that folder, I'm going to make a new file called app.js. And then inside of here, we will import React from React. We'll create a functional component this time called app. And inside of it, I'll return a simple div with the text app. And then I'll export default app at the bottom like so. That's it. That's all we have to do. So let's do a quick check inside the browser, and I should now see the text app appear on the screen. Perfect. Now, one last little bit of setup that I want to do, as long as we are going through all this kind of repetitive stuff, I want to make sure that I hook up Semantic UI, just the CSS file, to our project as well. So I'm sure you remember how to do this. We're going to do a quick search for Semantic UI CDN. I'll find the cdnjs.com link. And then I'll do a search for semantic min.css. Here we go, right there. So I'm going to copy that thing. I will flip flip back over to my public index.html file, and then just as before, I'll put in my link with the rel style sheet and my href to the link that I just copied, like so. And then I'll save the file, and I'll just make sure that I see the updated font for my app text that appears up here on the screen. All right, so that's it. So we're now ready to start putting together our actual app and learning how to get React and Redux to work together with that React-Redux library. I know that's so repetitive, but let's take a break and we're going to figure out how that thing works in the next section.